Hi there, my name is Jay with Server Matter and with CompuMatter, and I've come to rely on ZFS pretty substantially. I'm just amazed with the software. It's gotten me out of a pickle on multiple occasions where I've just been able to roll back to another snapshot and whatever the problem was disappeared. Whether it's malware, whether it's a software corruption, whether it's something I did to the code, it's just amazing to be able to roll it back and be right where you were. One of the things I'm dealing with right now is snapshots. I have a ZFS auto snapshots running, and they never go away. They just keep filling up your pool. That's where ZFS snapshots are stored. They're in a hidden directory, .zfs, at the root of each pool. And if you take a look at that, you'll see what I'm talking about. And they can chew up every bit of drive space you have on that pool, which is a big deal if you're running with a small NVMe or SSD as a boot drive or something like that, and your R pool fills up, which is exactly what's going on in my case. So I dug into that, and I'm looking for a way to automatically remove snapshots that are over 30 days, say, or X days, whatever the days you pick. And I found there are scripts out there, and I'm learning more about this as I go along. In fact, I've been learning a lot today. And one of the concerns were deleting clones. If you try to delete a snapshot and it has a clone of itself, the clone will be rendered useless because what it depends on is missing. So you can't delete snapshots that have clones. And then there's the issue of, do you have snapshots that are dependent on other snapshots for any other reason? A snapshot, to me anyway, it seems like it would be logical that they build upon each other on some level, and then maybe at some point they flush that out and they start anew, kind of the way backups do. I really don't know about the mechanism well enough, but that was a concern. So I dug in, and I've been working with ChatGPT for hours. There have been so many different iterations. This is it right here. Removing old snapshots. We started there. I'm just kind of rolling through it for you so you have an idea of the volume of material. Each one of this one's a short one. And this is 3.5. I've also worked with 4.0. And, it doesn't always get it right, and I don't always get it right. So we're working back and forth, and then in between, there's more than this. And then in between, I'm jumping online and doing a little research. And I feel like I've come up with what might be the perfect script for periodically just run this as a bash script and delete whatever has reached a certain date, and know that no clones are dependent on it, and know that it's not dependent on any of the snapshots that you're pulling out, that they don't have interdependencies that aren't being at least looked at. Let me show you what I've got. Okay, this is what the script looks like. It has a function called hasDependent that it looks at. First thing we do is we get a list of all snapshots and their creation date. And while that list is being parsed, we see if the creation date is less than X days old, or greater than X days old. Actually, is that a not less than? No, it says less than. Interesting, we'll take a look at that. Creation formatted gives us a friendly way to look at this data if we want to. And then if the clones have a value, if they're not equal to that, so when you do when you perform a command to list your clones and those that have snapshots, the reply will simply be a dash if there are no clones. If there are clones, that'll actually have the name of the clone in there. And so if it's not just a dash, it means it has a clone, and it'll tell you that. And then it looks for, does it have any other dependents outside of a clone, which is being addressed up here. And if not, it tells you, yes, it's older than X days old, but a newer snapshot or data set with a dependency exists, and so you get to know what that was. And beyond that, it would remove the snapshot created, and that's just a dry run. We're going to change that would remove snapshot to a destroy, so you can see what that looks like, because that's what needs to be done. But this way here, you're not removing any data. I've just gone ahead and reshaped that a little bit so that the creation formatted. I like that when that date is first on the list. It makes things more obvious. Let me clear that out and go ahead and run this so you can see what it looks like. You can see I've been working with ZFS commands for a long time here today. Okay, we'll run that and let it roll. And you can see the date, and at the end it says would remove. In that case, those dates are, today it's May 7th, so anything before April 7th, I expect to see in that list of would remove, and so far so good. And I don't really have anything dependent, so I don't expect any of that to come up. It's not going to say I've got clones. It's not going to say I have dependencies, because I've actually already tested for that and don't have any. But I'm going to show you a script that works for revealing whether you have clones and revealing whether you have dependencies, even though they're in this script, so that you're not entirely, trusting entirely that this is doing the right thing. You've got a way of looking at that and knowing that you don't have any clones that you do. I've actually added a clone, run the script. It sure enough detected it, and that's been incorporated into this script. There we go. We just got done. So that was 7 or 8 minutes in my case. None of them showed up beyond the date that I did not want it to, so we're good there. And I had no clones or dependency. I've restarted that script. I'm just going to take one of these first ones. We'll just go with that one right there. Now we have a clone. I'll give it a couple of seconds to create. Now we'll get a list of clones. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and run this command, ZFS list T snapshot. That'll list all snapshots, provide their name and any clones alongside of them. And you can see that last command did in fact create the clone. You can also see the dash I was talking about earlier, and nothing else has a clone except for that. So let's move back here now, and we will run that same command, that bash script, and it should skip that cloned snapshot. And there it is. Okay, I'll stop that, no need in continuing. You see it right here, older than 30 but has clones, and so it skips that and moves along. I may as well take you to the motivation that created this video. I'm on a different server now. I'm going to paste the contents of that new script. Yeah, it says can't write vim info. That's what that message was, and that's because we're out of hard drive space, and that's what caused the problem. That's what started me off hours ago going down this rabbit hole. All right, so let me give you an example of that. A df-h, you can see right here that my R pool, root pool on this server is at 100%. It's a 500 gig pool, and we're off to the races. Oh, it's not actually deleting anything. I need to uncomment that. Okay, so now we have snapshot deleted, and it'll echo that to the screen and then destroys the snapshot beneath it. Now we're off to the races. Okay, and we're getting confirmation. I'll be back to the script in a minute. Be right back. Okay, it's done its thing and deleted all of the old snapshots, and now I can hope I've got some more space on that R pool. D pool, where are you? Okay, we now have 64 gigabytes of additional free space that we didn't have, and we're out of the danger zone as far as the 100 gigabytes remaining. That's a godsend. I mean, that's exactly what we needed. They got us out of the emergency mode. So, okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is create a cron job I'm going to put it right here in the etc. cron D, and we've got a backup cron that we run every day anyway. So this is going right in there with it once a day. As a root user, figure out where you're going to put your script, and make sure it's got executable permissions, and that's the end of it. Then you don't have to think about it. Every 30 days, your snapshots are pruned. I'm going to use this on all our servers immediately. Well, I take that back. I'm going to use it on a couple of my servers immediately. Make sure it does what I need it to do, and that there's no hiccups, and then I'm going to move it out to the rest of our clients. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope that my research helps you, and there'll be a link to this file in the description area. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.